you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Yo, Tony D. Listen, bro. You may be the Don of NXT, but JD is the Don of the IWC. This show is the drizzling shits, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely no effort went into this show tonight. None. Here I am thinking that NXT actually may be good following WrestleMania weekend. Oh, no, 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 no. What did they do? They further made Stand and Deliver irrelevant by putting the titles back on Toxic Attraction. They took Walter and had him beaten in 10 minutes by Bron Breakker. And then they had Rick Steiner kidnapped. Yes. Ho, ho, ho. Rick Steiner kidnapped. The dog-faced gremlin kidnapped by Joe Gacy. Oh, also, there was a semi-live dry sex celebration with Duke Hudson and his Australian broad and Index. This show sucks. I don't even know why I'm here, man. I don't even know why I'm going to the OTS venue. Well, why am I here? You know why I'm here, man? Because I'm drinking cold beverages, man. And I'm sure you guys are as well. Yes, Jesse. Yes, Jesse. I will get into it. I got one question for you, though, before I get to the venue, guys. A very important question. I got mine, and it's ice cold, always. What the fuck are you guys drinking tonight? I'll see you over there.
AEW successful? Why is Tony Khan running his promotion better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are running Monday night and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your NXT post show for April 5th, 2022. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Tuesday nights, wherever you may be. NXT, man. You know, I was not excited about tonight's show in any sense of the word because on paper, it looked like it was just another generic WWE Tuesday night. But I was always curious about the shows that followed WrestleMania, man. I pay very close attention to how WWE really does things. And I like to see if they hit the proverbial reset button. And I'd like to see, in this case, if WWE is moving forward with changing things up and doing things better, and more times than not, every single year we end up getting disappointed because WWE really doesn't do anything to change a fucking thing about their shows. Monday Night Raw outside Cody was a fucking flop. It sucked. If Cody wasn't on that show last night, it would have been one of the worst Raw After Manias of all time. Shit. This NXT show tonight that followed WrestleMania, this was one of the worst NXT shows of the entire year. And I'm not even talking about NXT in a general sense as a brand. NXT 2.0. Not all the shows have been bad. Some of them have been passable. This one was genuinely one of the worst shows I think I've seen all year on Tuesday night. Bron Breakker won the NXT Championship on Monday Night Raw. He wrestled Dolph Ziggler for that same NXT Championship on Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon, at Stand and Deliver. WWE had been booking Dolph Ziggler to get the one-up on the young kid all these weeks, which would eventually lead him to taking the title of Ziggler at Stand and Deliver. That didn't happen. This is a Bron Breakker, by the way, who's already a one-time NXT champion. He beat Tommaso Ciampa at New Year's Evil on January 4th. WWE has Ziggler beat Breakker, go into Raw, do the same match but worse on Monday, and then award Bron Breakker the NXT Championship for a second time. I said last night on the Monday Night Raw post show, why was our time wasted with everything? Seems like everything that WWE put into that Stand and Deliver match, that main event, that show was a complete waste of time. I still don't know why Ziggler was the champion. Ziggler didn't do anything with that title. Ziggler didn't make the brand better. Ziggler didn't even make Bron Breakker better. So we go into tonight. WWE has their new two-time NXT champion, Bron Breakker. What do you think they do tonight? WWE sets up Bron Breakker versus Walter. Gunther. That is your main event for NXT 2.0 tonight. Now, in any normal world, I think everybody in this chat kind of understands what Walter is to us NXT 1.0 followers. We loved NXT 1.0. Walter was a big part of that. He was brought in as a dominant monster under Triple H. Ever since the name change, ever since he moved to the States, ever since he was now a regular on NXT 2.0 on Tuesday night, this man week by week has diminished. He is now just like everybody else. Everybody was afraid of it. Everybody knew what was happening. Everybody saw it coming from 1,000 miles away. Gunther is just like everybody else. He doesn't feel special anymore. It's over. You see the differences between Triple H, Walter, and Bruce Pritchard, Gunther. They are two totally different people. Two totally different fucking people. They booked this match tonight. Bron Breakker versus Gunther for the NXT Championship. On any other week, I would have been like, all right, I could get behind that. I think that would be great. WWE pretty much gave away what could be a major NXT program. They gave it away in one night, in 10 minutes, and Gunther was defeated by Bron Breakker in 10 minutes. Clean. No interference, no Ziggler, no Rude, no Imperium. Clean. Gorilla press slam over his head, power slam down, 1, 2, 3. On to the next. A jobber. Gunther was treated like a jobber. There are people out there that think I'm crazy, but you have a lot to convince me of that this isn't internal sabotage. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way this guy goes from absolutely unstoppable to no better than fucking jacket time. That's exactly how he feels. This show sucks. Sucks. Now, I knew it sucked. I knew it sucked from day one. But I didn't think it would ever get to the point where we are right now. With guys like this, Gunther, Walter, being treated like a fucking second-rate fucking VIP in catering. I don't understand why that match tonight couldn't have taken place with anybody else if your sole priority was the storyline now with his father being involved and his father, Rick Steiner, being kidnapped by Joe Gacy and Harland. Walter was a stepping stone to Joe fucking Gacy. Think about that. Think about that. Does that sound normal to you? Does that sound right? Does that sound logical to you? Walter was a stepping stone to Joe fucking Gacy. It's unbelievable how people watch this show and they act all fucking zombified and brain dead and they don't think about what is going on right in front of them. Now, this could mean Walter is getting called up to the main roster. I don't see why that would be a good thing. I mean, look at the way he's been treated on Tuesday night. You think he's going to fare better on Friday or Monday? You guys are some fucking comedians, man, really. Anybody that thinks he's going to be treated on the main roster any better, man, you guys are some fucking comedians, man, let me tell you. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Give me a break. He may get called up to the main roster. To do what? To do what? Remember his one and only time on the main roster in that Survivor Series when NXT was included? Yeah, he got eliminated in 60 seconds. That's what awaits him on the main roster. WWE also is teasing a split of Imperium. Fabian Eichner walked away from Marcel Bartel tonight. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Like, we don't need tag teams on the main roster, right? We can't call up Imperium as a threesome to the main roster. So let's just break them up. Because Fabian Eichner is going to fare very well by himself. Marcel Bartel is going to fare very well by himself, right? You don't need tag teams on the main roster, right? I don't know who's making the decisions down there, but they need to be removed immediately if this is the case. Because that's exactly what they do. WWE may tease, then they may go back on it, and then they'll tease it again. But if WWE even shows an inkling of a desire to break a tag team up, more than likely they are getting broken up. Walter is a jobber. That match could have happened with anybody. You could have put anybody in that match with Bron Breakker. Why did it have to be Walter? I don't understand it. It's mind-boggling to me. Completely unnecessary. You book a match where Walter cannot win because you just gave the fucking title to Bron Breakker 24 hours ago. So nobody thought he was going to win the title on Monday and then lose it on Tuesday. You guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. Please. I don't understand how anybody in that fucking company holds a job and with the decisions that they're making still have one tomorrow. Holy shit. So Joe Gacy now is challenging, I guess, or getting involved with Bron Breakker. Yeah, that's going to fare very well for Mr. Bron Breakker, right? Joe Gacy's going to be looked at as a legitimate champion. I think Joe Gacy's been one of the more entertaining acts on the entire show, but I don't necessarily deem him ready to be challenging for the NXT Championship. I don't. I think he could eventually get there with some seasoning and some growth in the gimmick, but you're throwing him right into the fire with Bron Breakker, Mr. NXT, right out of the gate. I don't see how that's going to work out for Joe Gacy. Is he good enough to handle a feud with Bron Breakker? I guess he can. He kidnapped his fucking father tonight. That's a great way to start a storyline off. I didn't mind any of that. We didn't need the Walter match to get to that. We didn't need any of that match to happen tonight to get to what we got at the end of the show. I just don't know why you didn't get to that right to the point. Because that's clearly what you wanted to build the show off of. So it's Joe Gacy versus Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. Seems to be setting up a program for that to happen at some point down the line. WWE, speaking of championships, they gave Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez the women's tag team championships in NXT. This entire tag team championship situation with the women is a fucking disaster. It really is. WWE took Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez and put them back together after we had to sit through weeks of television to watch two people win a tag team tournament that didn't even get to go to a match for the tag team championships. Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray won the Dusty Women's Classic to not get tag team title opportunities against Toxic Attraction, but they won the tournament to get a spot in a fatal four-way match that was determined late. It was a random idea thrown at everybody. It was supposed to be Cora Jade and Mandy Rose, so they win the Dusty Cup and then make it a fatal four-way. So it's Io, Kaylee Ray, Mandy Rose, and Cora Jade for the NXT Women's Championship. That is not what the prize is at the end of the tunnel for the team that wins the Dusty Classic. So then WWE said, oh, well, we did that. Now we're fucked. Now Toxic Attraction doesn't have a team to defend those titles against. So they haphazardly put together Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai once again with absolutely no build whatsoever. And they gave them the tag team championship match at Stand and Deliver. Fast forward to Stand and Deliver. We get new tag team champions on the pre-show, mind you. Then we come into Tuesday's show tonight and we get a rematch. Of course we do. For the same women's tag team championships between Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai, and Toxic Attraction. What do you think WWE does? They do the same thing that they did to Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai the first time they were tag team champions. Remember when they won the Dusty Cup? When they won the Dusty Cup, they were awarded the tag team championships. Remember that? And in the same night, they lost those tag team championships to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. They did the same thing with them for a second time in a row. But this time it wasn't in the same night. They didn't have any defense of these tag team titles. They won it on Saturday. They lost it on Tuesday. WWE puts the titles back on Toxic Attraction. I don't know why the match happened in the first place on Saturday. And I don't know why Toxic Attraction lost on Saturday afternoon to begin with. Why did they lose? None of it makes any sense whatsoever. So you make Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, once again, transitional champions, only to get the belts on Toxic Attraction. For what reason? And this is the same reason that I talked about when we talked about the Bron Breakker and Dolph Ziggler match on Monday Night Raw. They did the title change after all that build for Saturday to be the title change. They didn't do the title change on Saturday, but they opted to do it on Monday. Now, I'm not some fucking spring chicken. I'm not an idiot. I know why they did the title change on Monday. Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, more eyes. Bron Breakker is going to be the next big thing. They want more eyes on Bron Breakker. They want everybody to know who Bron Breakker is. I get it. But logically, it doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, for how many times WWE thinks they're doing the right thing, there's always a negative to everything that they do. By you putting the title on Bron Breakker on Monday night, you actively told everybody else that Stand and Deliver on Saturday afternoon wasn't a big stage for anything important to happen, so you opted to do it on Monday. So why did we even get a Stand and Deliver to begin with? Why did we even get an NXT show WrestleMania weekend to begin with if that's the way you were going to handle it? Same thing here with the Tag Team Championships and Toxic Attraction. It happened on the fucking pre-show. Nobody watched that fucking garbage on Saturday afternoon. Nobody even realized there was a fucking tag team title match on Saturday afternoon. Cue up Tuesday, so they do it all over again, and they hit the reset button on Tuesday night tonight by putting the titles back on Toxic Attraction. This show sucks. It's a fucking creative disaster. Bruce, I gotta tell you, man, this isn't Monday Night Raw. You're actively ruining, you've already ruined, but you continue to make this show into Monday Night Raw 2.0. And this is not why we want to watch NXT 2.0. We don't want to watch a Monday Night Raw rehash. Everything that happens on Monday night, it happens on Tuesday night with just a different cast of characters. This entire brand is fucked. You're adopting main roster booking every single week more and more, and this is the result. And then you want to know why people don't watch NXT. Look in the fucking mirror. Look at what you've done to the show. It's not that difficult to figure out why people aren't watching the fucking show every week. Gunther, ruined. Toxic Attraction beats Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. They may get called up to the main roster. God knows that the WWE needs fucking women on SmackDown. Maybe they get moved up to the main roster. I don't know. Another notable man that was not on the show tonight was Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes wasn't on the show tonight, and seemingly they're moving the North American Championship onto Cameron Grimes and Grimes onto somebody new. And that somebody new is Solo Sikoa. That doesn't look like Carmelo Hayes to me. Maybe WWE opted to keep Bron Breakker down in NXT for a little bit longer, and they've opted to call up Carmelo Hayes to the main roster. And the reason why I say that, and the reason why I've mentioned a couple of people getting called up to the main roster, whether it's Gunther, whether it's Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, whether it's Carmelo Hayes, it just feels, you get a sense by watching the show, that there will be some demotions coming to NXT. And I honestly think Carmelo Hayes is getting called up after his absence tonight. Now, I thought, and I said this last night, I thought with Bron Breakker beating Ziggler that Carmelo Hayes was going to be the next in line to be the NXT champion and challenge Bron Breakker. I thought that was going to be the next program. Hayes wins the title eventually sometime later this summer, and Bron Breakker gets called up after SummerSlam, and that's the WWE guy that they put on Monday Night Raw. He's the next big thing. They get him on the main roster, and Hayes, he can call NXT his own. It looks like it may be the other way around. There's no reason why Carmelo Hayes, after a WrestleMania Stand and Deliver show, is noticeably absent from NXT. LA Knight wasn't on the show. Everybody's been saying he's outgrown NXT. He could be due for a main roster. We could see him on Friday, for all we know. We could see both him and Hayes on Friday night. But you just get a sense that people are getting called up to the main roster. Whether it's this week or next week or sometime in April, you just feel people are going to get moved from brand to brand. Other than that, there really isn't anything else that happened on this show. You got a cringe segment with Index and Persia Perota, Duke Hudson. You got some bullshit going on with MSK. I'm not going to get into that because it's all hearsay on social media. Nash Carter is under fire right now for allegations from his ex-girlfriend, I believe. He's getting called out on social media. I will not be talking about any of that stuff outside of what I just mentioned here right now because it's Twitter. It's Twitter. He was on TV tonight. MSK had a challenge laid down to them. I'll talk about why an unusual tag team is challenging MSK for the tag team championships. It could be one thing or the other, but I will not be talking about Nash Carter's personal problems. I don't really give a shit. I'm here to talk about the wrestling. I'm here to talk about what he does with Wes Lee with the NXT Tag Team Championships. So we'll talk about that. And we got Imperium possibly breaking up on NXT, which I think is a terrible thing because they, and this is funny. I've been saying that they are the best tag team in all of WWE for many, many, many months. And now all of a sudden, we may be getting them broken up. I don't understand it. WWE needs tag teams. That's not a tag team that you should be ever thinking about breaking up, especially right now. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you joining me on Tuesday night, man. It's been a long, long weekend. And we're rolling right on into the week with Tuesday and NXT 2.0. Thank you guys so much for being here on Off the Scripts. Incredible weekend. Between night 1, night 2, and Monday Night Raw, man, we had almost 15,000 live viewers between all three shows, man. That's all thanks to you guys. I appreciate you all very much. Continue to support. Best way to do that is two things. Number one, you guys can hit the thumbs up. I see 1,300 plus in the venue tonight for an NXT show. That's very good. It's more than normal, man. I only see 407 likes. So if you guys are in the chat, can you do me a solid and hit that thumbs up, man? It greatly, greatly helps out the video when it gets published to YouTube. Also, you guys can hit that subscribe button down below. We just surpassed 132,000 subscribers. Thank you guys very much for that. If you're new around here, if you're just finding the channel and the stream tonight and you're a first timer, hit that subscribe button, man. We're here every single week giving it to you the way you deserve it, man. 100% honesty. So hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells for all notifications. Make sure you guys hit that join button as well, man. Become an OTS VIP. You guys can sit right back there with me. You guys get access to those emotes in the chat. You guys get access to those badges next to your name. And you can show off your VIP status with everybody else that is in green. Everybody in the chat, you see their name highlighted in green. Those are all my VIPs. So make sure you guys hit that join button and become an OTS channel member, an OTS VIP today, right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys go check out all the other videos that you might have missed, man. Mania, self-explanatory. Make sure you guys go check the Monday Night Raw post show out from last night. We talked a lot about Bron Breakker, a lot about Cody Rhodes, a lot about Roman Reigns. They were all on the show last night. Go and check that out if you got some free time or you want some additional content from the channel. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram at JDfromNY206. Go get your t-shirts. Bonfire is the place. Bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Off the Script. And today's show is sponsored by Audible. audibletrial.com/scripts. Make sure you guys go and sign up. Use our link. And you guys get 30 days free of their service and one free audiobook of your choice. That's audibletrial.com/script. And I want to thank them, as always, for sponsoring the podcast right here on this Tuesday night, NXT 2.0 post show right here on Off the Scripts. Let's start at the top, man. We go into the top of the show, and Bron Breakker is the first thing that we hear from. First guy that we see on NXT. He just won the NXT title for a second time from Dolph Ziggler on Monday Night Raw. So he's in the ring, and they have changed slightly the NXT Championship. There's not a new title, but it has this colorful glow to it, and they added the colorful side plates to it. So they did slightly change the title, which is a mockery, and that's the same title that Tommaso Ciampa held, Johnny Gargano, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, all these guys, talented men, held that title, and now it is a Fruit Loop title. Looks like the fucking box of Fruit Loops that you'd buy down aisle 7 at fucking Stop and Shop, man, with the fucking Toucan Sam. It looks like Toucan Sam's title. Now, Jesus fucking Christ. Bron, I will say this, all smiles last night on Raw. Hey, I'm Bron Breakker. You know, all smiles coming down the aisle on Monday Night Raw. Hey, pal, I need you to smile. Bron Breakker doesn't need to smile, man. Bron Breakker's gonna fucking kick your dick in. He doesn't need to smile. He didn't smile tonight. He didn't smile at all tonight, man. He came out stone cold. Why is there such a difference between NXT and what happens on the main roster, man? It is so bizarre to me. It really is. The same people that are in charge of the main roster are in charge of NXT. Why? I don't really get it. So Bron Breakker's out there, no smiling. There was a "We want Ziggler, no we don't" chant. That's not good, bro. I don't know what was wrong with this WWE PC crowd, but they reminded me, something like that reminded me of the old Full Sail crowd when they didn't like something. I thought these people at the PC, man, I thought they were all fucking spoon-fed whatever they're given on Tuesday night, and they're pretty much forced to digest it because they got nothing else. This was an old Full Sail type chant, man. "We want Ziggler, no we don't." I was surprised by that. That's not very good for Mr. Rex Steiner over here. Not really a good look for his second reign as NXT champion. So he obviously was a little rattled by that because he stopped for a second and he kind of composed himself. I didn't think he was really expecting that at all. I felt that from him emanating from his body. He didn't really know what to think about that because I didn't think he was really expecting a "We want Ziggler" chant when he just won the NXT championship on Monday Night Raw. Then he got into this really scripted fucking dialogue. He sounded very, very scripted. And I don't think you really should be scripting somebody like Bron Breakker, man. He's getting a very tough lesson in what it takes to be a WWE superstar, man. You know, for all the people that love Bron Breakker, I think Bron Breakker's great. I think Bron Breakker's going to get a really good run in WWE when all is said and done. But when we first saw him, he sounded and felt a little bit genuine. You are now, and listen, I'm not taking anything away from him, but I want you guys to understand something. The more you see something like this, and the more you see Bron Breakker, and the more you see the company, the machine, get behind him, the less genuine it's going to feel. You watch Bron Breakker from the first day you saw him up until him, working his way to the NXT Championship. It felt genuine. He felt real and organic, fresh. Now you watch Bron Breakker, company's jamming him down his throat or jamming him down your throat, our throats. He's featured a lot more now, and he's out there with the microphone a little bit more. He's starting to sound less and less genuine. He cut a very scripted promo tonight. I don't think you really should be sending Bron Breakker out there with fucking scripted notes. He mentioned something along the lines of it was one of his biggest honors to induct his father and the Steiner brothers into the Hall of Fame. He said he failed at Stand and Deliver, but he was still able to watch great superstars such as Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, Kevin Owens, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. He said he will headline a WrestleMania show one day, and that is going to be his ultimate goal. Very scripted promo. As soon as he started talking about Bianca Belair, I was backstage watching great superstars such as Bianca Belair. I don't really get a sense that Bron Breakker speaks the way that he was told to go out there and say that tonight. I don't like it. All of a sudden, Imperium's new music hit, which sucks, sounds very generic and fucking boring. Imperium's music hit, Gunther. He walked down the aisle with Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bartel, and they were dressed to compete. They weren't in street clothes or anything. They were in their wrestling trunks. Gunther was not. He was in regular street clothes. So They stood behind Gunther as Gunther took the microphone. He said, yeah, that's a nice little story you got there, but nobody cares about that. He says all he cares about is that title and what that title stands for, being the best in NXT. He said the issue is he cannot call himself the best until he steps in the ring with the ring general, Gunther. Breakker said tonight, you got it. NXT title match tonight between Bron Breakker and Gunther. Right there, made right in front of your eyes. No questions asked. They posed at each other. Breakker held the belt up. They cut to a quick break. We saw the Creed brothers run down the aisle. And then they go to a commercial break. And no explanation until we get back from commercial break. I said this in the beginning. Why tonight? Why tonight? Some people may look at this as not a big deal. Some people may tell me that Gunther will be fine and all this other bullshit. You have every right to think that. I do not think that because I take guys like Gunther and what they have been made into and what they look like and the type of performer they are, and I look at the situation and the situation they're about to put him in, and I ask myself, why? Why now? Why tonight? You could have chosen any person in the back to go up against Bron Breakker tonight. It could have been somebody that you just wanted to give an opportunity to, an open challenge. Somebody step up to the new kid. Somebody step up to Bron Breakker and start making his life difficult, man, as NXT champion, because that's what everybody ultimately wants, the NXT championship. Why did it have to be Gunther? Of all nights. Why are you going to blow through something like this so quickly unless Gunther's getting called up to the main roster? Now, when they made the match, I started asking myself why, and then I started to go over all the logical possibilities. Maybe there's a fuck finish. Maybe there's going to be some fuckery or shenanigans, some NXT 2.0 shenanigans in the fucking main event. Something that was going to ruin the match, and then we get this sometime at a later date when it was a little bit more built up. We didn't get that tonight. This was a clean 10-minute match. No ifs, ands, or buts. No interference. No Ziggler. No Rude. No Imperium. Nobody else. Power Slam and Gunther losing. Clean. I don't know why they did this tonight. It could have been anybody. This is what I don't like, man. Some of you may think that I'm too picky. Some of you think I may be too cynical and fucking over the top with the things that I say and the takes that I have. Nothing is special in this company. That's my fucking problem. Nothing is special. Gunther should have been treated as a special act. You know, the more you put Gunther out there on a weekly basis, the more you have him lose like he lost tonight, he doesn't feel special anymore. He shouldn't be coming out randomly and challenging for an NXT championship on a fucking random episode of NXT 2.0, get put in the main event, and then fucking lose in 10 minutes. You know, you might not think it's a big deal because WWE's conditioned you to think that everything is fucking separate. Raw is separate from SmackDown. Raw and SmackDown are separate from NXT. You know, they want to condition you to think that, but then they have no fucking problem to bring a Dolph Ziggler and a Bobby Roode down to NXT. They have no problem bringing an AJ Styles down to NXT. They got no problem bringing a Rey Mysterio and a fucking Miz down to NXT. It can't be both. It's got to be one or the other. So if it works that way for you, it should work the other way for you. If you got no fucking problem and you could do it like that and bring a main roster guy to NXT, why is it so difficult to keep somebody like Walter special before he makes the main roster? That's what I don't get. WWE just creates these situations where they make themselves look like fucking foolish idiots. If you could bring AJ Styles and fucking Rey Mysterio down so quickly without a fucking question to be asked, why is it so difficult for you to keep somebody like Gunther special so he looks special on the main roster? I don't get it. I really don't understand it. That's what bothers me. And that's what I want you guys to think about. Because I don't really see anybody else raising that fucking type of awareness here. It shouldn't have happened. You could have put anybody else in that role. Anybody. A Von Wagner should have been in that role. Somebody. Anybody. But not Walter. Now he looks and feels like everybody else. He's a loser. And Walter should not be treated as a loser. Imperium. Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. They wrestled the Creed brothers in a very hard-hitting tag team match here. This was not bad at all, but I didn't really like the way that we got there because the Creeds ran down the aisle during a commercial break after the opening segment with Bron Breakker and Walter, and they go right to commercial break, only to come back and both teams are in the ring beating the shit out of each other. So we got these two teams going at it, and the match was joined in progress, like I said, after a commercial break. It also went through another commercial break in the middle of it. Imperium started targeting the knee on one of the Creed brothers. I believe it was Julius, or Brutus, rather. And hot tag to Julius. So Julius is throwing Imperium around with overhead suplexes. Eichner breaks up a pin attempt. He tries to rally Bartel into making a hot tag because he was being beaten down. Bartel was even busted open over his, I believe it was his left eye. So he got busted open. Don't know what had happened there, but it looked pretty gnarly. So he wanted to get the hot tag to Eichner. So there was a miscommunication of sorts. Eichner, all of a sudden, just walks out because he didn't get the hot tag. He didn't get the tag. There was some sort of miscommunication there, and he just leaves and walks up the ramp, and nobody knows where he went. Fabian Eichner walked out on Marcel Bartel, teasing a possible breakup of Imperium, who I honestly think is the best tag team, not only in NXT, but the best tag team in all of WWE. I don't understand why we would be thinking about breaking these guys up. So he leaves. Somehow he was, like I said, Bartel was bleeding. Don't know what had happened there. So a sliding lariat from Julius. Julius pins him off of the lariat for a 1-2-3. Julius, with his hand, wipes some of the blood off of Bartel's face in a menacing manner and licks his hand full of Marcel Bartel's blood. I don't think that's sanitary, especially in this day and age. All of a sudden, after the match is over, we got these two masked assailants, these two masked men who have been stalking the Creed brothers for a couple weeks now, once with a vignette destroying the Diamond Mine Training Center, and then again via a text message from an unidentified number, Boston or New York. I don't know which one it was, but that was the only communication we've had between these two unknown men and the Creed brothers. So they snuck up on the Creed brothers, they hit the Creeds with folding chairs, and all of a sudden they stand there and they pull their face masks down, revealing themselves to be the tag team from NXT UK known as Pretty Deadly. I never seen these guys before in my entire fucking life. I don't watch NXT UK. I don't care to watch NXT UK. As soon as NXT went bye-bye here in the States, I did not bother to go and even pay attention or care about NXT 2.0. To be quite honest with you, there's just so much going on with WWE and AEW and now Ring of Honor that I don't really care to talk about NXT UK. Nobody cares when I talk about NXT 2.0. So why would I bother with NXT UK? Pretty Deadly. I don't know who these guys are. I don't know their names. I don't care to know their names. Elton Prince, I believe his name is, and Kit Wilson. These two guys. They look like they should be in fucking Legolas from Lord of the Rings. Fucking elves. The elf camp from Lord of the Rings. Looks like these two guys should be part of the Fellowship of the Ring, man. They should be leading fucking Bilbo Baggins. They should be leading Frodo Baggins into Mordor. I don't understand it. Well, who the fuck are these guys? Who are they? This is what your big surprise was? The Fellowship of the Ring is your big surprise. Kit Wilson. Guy looks like he should be fucking walking down a runway with fucking the rest of the models. With his white hair flowing all over the place. Jesus fucking Christ. Does anybody legitimately care about these two fucking guys. Seriously. The crowd was dead silent when these guys came out. I don't know if anybody even knew who they were in NXT 2.0. Pretty deadly. I like the name. The name's pretty cool. They look like they're pretty. And how deadly are they? How deadly are they? I guess we'll find out because they're going up against the Creed brothers, who are pretty deadly in their own right. Mackenzie Mitchell. She was in the back with Toxic Attraction. Somebody teach JC Jane how to cut a promo, please. Stat. JC Jane is not a good promo. She is not a good... Neither is Gigi Dolan. But at this point, I don't really think you guys give a shit. You just want to look at Gigi Dolan. Who gives a shit what she sounds like? So they're there with Mackenzie Mitchell. Gigi blamed that pajama-wearing freak, Wendy Chu, as JC Jane said she wants to vomit every time they see Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai with their titles. Mandy Rose did their little Toxic Attraction tagline and whatnot, and claimed that her girls are going to get the tag team titles back from Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Cameron Grimes, the new North American champion, he is in the ring cutting a promo. Pretty decent ladder match at Stand and Deliver. Not the best ladder match that I've seen, but for NXT 2.0 standards, it's pretty much up there as one of the better things that I've seen from the brand. A lot of great talent in that ring on Saturday afternoon. Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, Santos Escobar, Grayson Waller, Cameron Grimes. So Grimes is on the microphone in the middle of the ring. Chant of "You deserve it" from the PC crowd here in Orlando. And Grimes says, "We did it." He looked right into the camera, and he said he made good on his promise, and he knows his dad is looking down, smiling ear to ear, because his boy did it. He talked about climbing the ladder to success, saying he did just that. He said he'd be lying if he didn't say that time stood still on top of that ladder as thoughts of his father, a single parent who gave his blood, sweat, and tears to this business, and to raise him into the man he is today. So for the past 3 years, he busted his ass so he could prove his father right. And it feels so good to say Cameron Grimes is the new North American champion. He says he's not going to get complacent now that he is the new champ. Solo Sikoa comes walking out. He is standing in the aisleway, and he gets into the ring with Grimes. He gets into the ring and says, "I just want to congratulate you. I came out here to congratulate you." He said, "Now here comes the hard part. Grimes, you have to hold on to that NXT North American Championship. But I know you need new challengers." Sikoa said he came to face the best, and championships run all through his bloodline. There you go. Nice little homage to his family on the main roster right now that is dripping in gold. He said a champion needs challengers, and that challenger is him. Grimes says he respects Sikoa because he can see in Sikoa's eyes that he's fought to get here. He said, "Oos, you're on." They shook hands, and Sikoa brought him closer and glared right into his eyes. Grimes said that's what he wants, and laughed the way Cameron Grimes does. To the moon. Cameron Grimes. Should be a decent little match, man. I'm a fan of both guys. Grimes is great. Happy to see him get some love and some rub in NXT 2.0. I was pleasantly surprised that they actually put the title on him. Solo Sikoa is going to be great. He needs some seasoning still. He needs some time in NXT, but he could be really, really good. And he's an Anoa'i, so he's going to be just fine. He just needs the proper time to get where he needs to go. And you're going to be looking at the next Uso. You're going to be looking at the next member of the family that's going to make a major dent in WWE in all the best possible ways. I think he's going to be great. And I'm loving the presentation of him so far. And a lot of it really helps because he reminds me so much. I mean, he is the brother of Jimmy and Jay. And he's got that look. He's got that legit look, that tough guy look. He sounds great. He sounds just like his brothers. That's why I kind of take a liking to him more so than anybody else on the roster, because those guys are legit. And when the Usos speak, you kind of stop and listen to what they have to say. So he's got all that, And he's going to be just fine on the main roster when he gets there. Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy with Harlan. They've been two of the most entertaining acts on NXT. I didn't like the gimmick at first, but I kind of grew into liking it. I think Harlan is a great compliment to Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy was with Harlan in the back. He said, "The world is dark, but the one true beacon of light is family." He said, "Having someone you trust is the most important things in life. Who knows your deepest thoughts and your foremost vulnerabilities?" He said, "If you don't have family, it only leads to self-destruction." So I didn't really know what he was talking about when he was talking about it here on the show. But now that we look back on it and what we got at the end of the show, I now know what he was talking about. And I like how they pieced this all through the show. This was one of three things that Joe Gacy said on the show tonight. And it was all kind of leading to what we got in the end. So whoever was in charge of these Joe Gacy segments and then mapping them out in the show until we got the reveal that he kidnapped Rick Steiner, I thought that was a great move on WWE's part. Draco Anthony. He was in the ring with Joe Gacy last week. Didn't really fare all that well. He was in the locker room with Zion Quinn, as Zion Quinn advised him to not pay any attention to Joe Gacy and Harlan. Anthony said, "Stop telling me what to do." Quinn said, "Listen, I'm not telling you what to do. I have your back. I want you to know that." And then Draco Anthony yelled, "I don't need you to have my back." Quinn said Anthony needs a lesson in respect, and then he walked away. Looks like Draco Anthony was affected by Mr. Joe Gacy last week, and now he's taking all his anger out on Zion Quinn. What it looks like to me. Mackenzie Mitchell was interviewing Tiffany Stratton. She requested this time for an interview. She said it was the biggest weekend of all time, but she reminded people about the schoolgirl Saray causing her the match last week on NXT. Mitchell corrected her on the nickname, and Stratton said correcting people is so rude. She did some more slow talking like a dummy because she don't think Saray could speak English and can't comprehend what she's saying. "I don't think you understand the words out of my mouth," type of deal. So it looks like Tiffany Stratton and the Sunshine Princess, or whatever the fuck they're calling her, Powerpuff Girl, Saray, they're going to start a little, or they're in the middle of a program. They're going to continue their program. Ask me if I care 2 weeks from now. I don't care now, and I won't care then. Who cares? Dexter Lumis. He was within the Hartwell against Duke Hudson. This came about because on Saturday at Stand and Deliver, there was a fashion show, and Index won in unanimous fashion from a fan voting about which couple looked better. So then there was a shoving match and a challenge throwdown on Saturday at Stand and Deliver, which we get to today, and it's Dexter Lumis versus Duke Hudson. This shit was fucking ridiculous. I don't understand how this shit makes the show, and this is why I call it Monday Night Raw 2.0. So they're out there, and they got both girls in their corner. Hudson with the cheap shot hits Lumis before the bell. Lumis quickly starts to fight back, planted by Hudson with a Uranagi. He's working over Lumis now. Hudson is in control with a chin lock. I don't know where Lumis kips up and gets to his feet. He springs into a leg drop. Suddenly, he is on this offensive attack. Hudson is bumping all over the place for Dexter Lumis, and he is spilled to the outside. Both guys spilled to the outside. So there's a human tug of war right now on the outside. They're against the steel post, and they're trying to pull each other into the steel post. And their girlfriends at ringside come to their aid, and they pull on both of their men trying to win the tug of war. Meanwhile, the referee is counting, and the referee is counting 8, 9, 10, and both guys get counted out. But at the time they get counted out, their girlfriends pull them away from each other and pull them away from the steel post, that they all four land on each other in what looked to be, and I'm presumably thinking that the producers booked it to be this way, they were all on top of each other in a very sexual-like position, and they all looked like they were having an orgy. And this is NXT 2.0. And then when people ask me, JD, why don't you like NXT 2.0 anymore? I'll refer to you to something like this. Triple H, in his wildest dreams, would never book something like this on NXT. But here we are, and this is what we're getting now. Why is this on my television? Why is Duke Hudson, who is a great look, getting involved with Persia Perota and Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Yes, you guys heard me. This sounds fucking terrible. I know. Dexter Lumis, this guy went from fucking, oh my God, I'm intrigued by this guy, to get this fucking guy off my television, man, by the way that they're booking him. It's not even his fault. It's not even his fault. They have buried this guy into creative oblivion. I was talking about maybe calling this guy up and putting him in Edge and Damian Priest's faction. I think he'd fit perfect there. Make him into the fucking psychopath that Dexter Lumis once was. But here we are, and they're booking Dexter Lumis in fucking cosplay wannabe orgies on NXT 2.0. When Bruce wants to know why the ratings aren't above a fucking 6, then you have this to reference to. There you go, Bruce. Look yourself in the mirror. This shit's stuck. This fucking terrible. This shit sucks. Moving on from that, Mackenzie Mitchell was with Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai in the back. Crowd was chanting for the Dexter Lumis and Duke Hudson skit in the prior match. While Gonzalez and Kai were being interviewed, the crowd was audibly heard chanting, "That was stupid." Then I go on social media, and guess who was defending the orgy that we just saw on NXT 2.0? You guessed it, folks. Road Dogg. Road Dogg defended the orgy with the crowd chanting, "This is stupid," or "This was stupid." He said, "Wow, the crowd was a little harsh there," on Twitter. Oh, you didn't know? Even in termination, DOGG is still a shill. Bro, nobody's giving you your job back, man. It's okay. It's okay to criticize. This is shit. Too harsh. I think the crowd went fucking easy on them. Gonzalez said that they are the most dominant females in the division. Sure you are. Sure you are. You won the tag team titles, man. All is right in the world, right? Yeah. You don't know who you work for, honey. You don't know who you work for. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Toxic Attraction. This was a rematch from Stand and Deliver, the pre-show. This wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. I actually think this was better than the match that we got on Saturday afternoon. So, in this match, the champs, they were doing pretty decently until Kai got in trouble and she was being beaten down by Toxic Attraction. Hot tag to Gonzalez here. She cleans house, obviously. Big Raquel Gonzalez cleans house. She attempts to climb the ropes. Gonzalez tripped up. She gets tied in a tree of woe. Toxic Attraction is working over Gonzalez and her knee, which is the story of why she was out. Storyline, Gonzalez has a knee injury, so they're working on the knee. She eventually gets beaten up to a point where she finally makes the hot tag to Dakota Kai. She runs wild. Bunch of kicks all over the place. Double stomp off the top by Kai. Gonzalez follows up with a senton on Gigi Dolan. JC Jane jumps in to break up a pinning attempt by Gonzalez. Blind tag by Toxic Attraction. Kai is unaware of this blind tag. She is cut off. Double down. The match stops for a little bit. Countered by Dolan. She finally cuts off the champs and their offense. Wendy Chu, she makes her way down to the ring, and she is there to obviously distract Toxic Attraction again, or maybe distract the referee. Who knows why she's out there? NXT, they've turned Wendy Chu into a joke. I can't take her seriously. I mean, all she is a fucking low-budget Orange Cassidy in the women's division. So Mandy Rose comes out to the ringside area, and she takes care of Shu. She throws Shu into the ring steps. Dolan turns around, walks into the hands of Gonzalez. She goes for her finisher. However, Mandy Rose distracts the referee. Jacy Jayne rushes into the ring with a chop block on the bad knee to Raquel Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes down. She starts selling the leg. Double team by Toxic Attraction. They execute their Toxic Shock finishing move on Gonzalez. Jacy Jayne goes for the cover, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and Toxic Attraction are your new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Transitional champions are Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Maybe Raquel Gonzalez is getting called up to the main roster, man. I have no clue why this match was even booked on Saturday if this was the idea all along. Once again, it shows you that NXT Stand and Deliver was a complete waste of time. Even WWE management didn't think it was important enough to really let sit on WrestleMania weekend. So much so that they had to go back and do their title matches, the NXT title match and the NXT Women's Tag Team title matches all over again on Monday and Tuesday. Seems like they hit the reset button again because Stand and Deliver was watched by literally nobody. That's your fault. The build sucked. The show didn't need to happen WrestleMania weekend. And I said it 2 weeks ago. This should have been Stand and Deliver. This. Tonight. Or make it a 2-week thing. Part 1 and part 2. No reason why they need to switch and hot potato the titles again. What does it mean? What does it mean unless Raquel's getting called up, unless Dakota's getting called up? Toxic Attraction has nobody else in the division to defend the titles against. They have no competition. So it doesn't matter who the fucking champions are. Tony D'Angelo. He's out there. And he's got this entire celebratory situation going on in the middle of the ring. AJ Galante is in the ring. This is the same guy that's walked him down the aisle when he beat Tommaso Ciampa at Stand and Deliver on Saturday afternoon. He introduced the man of the hour, Tony D'Angelo. Guy is not good on the mic, is AJ Galante. Very nervous out there. Nervous twitch with AJ Galante. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but he kept putting the microphone in each hand every single time, and he didn't know what he wanted to do. He wanted to move his hand like a fucking Italian does. Us Italians, we talk with our hands. He kept putting the microphone in his left hand, then he switched it to the right hand, then back in the left hand, then right into the right hand. He didn't know what the fuck he wanted to do out there. It looked like he was sweating bullets out there. So he said everybody thought, well, Tony D'Angelo was brought out. AJ Galante brought out Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo looked great. Black suit, black top hat. He said everybody thought Tommaso Ciampa was going to run through him, but they all saw what happened. Galante then pointed to the table that was in front of them in the ring. There's a card on it with D'Angelo's blood to symbolize that he's ready to take on the role of the Don of NXT. AJ Galante, who, I don't know, he's from some fucking Netflix show. Go Google him. You let me know who the fuck he is. I don't know who the fuck he is. Some wannabe fucking Guinea. I don't know who the fuck he is. So he's out there. There's a card on the table. Apparently, Tony D'Angelo's blood is on this card, and he's ready to take on the role of the Don of NXT. Said you enter this oath on your feet, but if you betray it, you'll leave on your back. Galante was being heckled out there. He didn't know how to handle it. Poor AJ Galante. You fucking gabagool, AJ Galante. What the fuck is wrong with you, AJ Galante? What's wrong with you, man? You couldn't handle it? What happened? Crowd raining down. This is boring. At Tony D'Angelo and AJ Galante, man. I don't know who they let into the PC tonight, but this crowd was vicious during certain segments of this show. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what happened. This is boring chance. He got a this is boring chant. He lost his place a little bit. He turned back and said, this is the code of silence, and you could never break it. D'Angelo looked at the card, smiled, accepted his position. Galante then put a gold ring on D'Angelo's finger to officially christen him the Don of NXT. Now his Titantron reads the Don. Tony D'Angelo, the Don of NXT. I don't know what the fuck that means. Is this symbolizing that he's moving up? Does this equate to him winning a championship in NXT? Is this for the time being? He's the Don. It's like a makeshift title without actually having a championship belt. The Don of NXT. People did not like this at all. I thought it was kind of cringe, but the less they do of these types of things, I think it would be better off for Tony D'Angelo. We get that he's a very stereotypical character. We get that he's got the fucking, hey, you know, hey, I'm Tony D. You know, come over. We'll have a bottle of red wine. I'll have my girl make you her sauce. We'll have some meatball and some ravioli. You know, we get it. We get it. He loves Italian food. He's a fucking guinea. We get it. You don't need to fucking embellish it with fucking Godfather-esque fucking stunts. Blood on cards and fucking rings on fingers and calling him the Don of NXT. You want people to turn against Tony D'Angelo? You do shit like that. Keep it normal. Don't go over the top, otherwise people are going to look like, Jesus fucking Christ, this shit is fucking cringe. Complete cringe. I love Tony D. I think Tony D's got a ton of potential, but I don't think the crowd is interested in fucking stereotypical fucking garbage like this when they could just go watch a movie. They don't want to watch a movie and then see this WWE fucking shit where they think it's cool and they think it's funny. It just comes off wrong. Less of this, the better. Mackenzie Mitchell. She was in the back with MSK. They overreacted a bit and said that they appreciate them now more than the first time. Wesley said, all the teams, come and get it. All of a sudden, Grayson Waller comes up, and he's there by Sanga. Or he's there with Sanga by his side. His big muscle, Sanga. So, Sanga said, no one's talking about MSK. The man speaks. Lee said Waller did not make a lot of noise he did make a lot of noise when he hit that ladder on the way down on Saturday afternoon. Took a hellacious bump off the ladder with an elbow drop on the outside. They said he can be happy doing that while they remain champions. Sanga yelled that they won't remain champions for long. And Waller challenged them when he is healthy, which is next week, because they had a graphic for next week's show where Grayson Waller and Sanga are going to challenge MSK, Wesley, and Nash Carter for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, I don't know why this makeshift tag team is challenging MSK for the tag team titles when this guy is obviously injured. He's got a sling on his arm, and apparently it's only going to be a 1-week injury. I find it very weird that WWE's putting Sanga and Grayson Waller in a makeshift tag team to challenge the tag team champions so soon after this guy got called out by Kimberly, who is now his ex-girlfriend, I'm assuming, on social media for things that are not looking too good, if they are indeed true. Now, I don't know if they're true or not. People have a tendency to embellish on social media. We don't know until all the information's out there. I'm the type of guy that likes to look at all the evidence first and then make a rational decision. I don't want the Twitter police to all of a sudden jump on somebody's back all because we see a couple of photos that were taken a year ago and whatnot. I'm not getting into the fucking bullshit of another speaking out Me Too bullshit situation. Same thing happened with Enzo. Remember what happened with Enzo? Somebody claimed that Enzo did a lot of bad, and then Enzo was proven to be not guilty. But Enzo got fired from WWE, and at the end, he didn't deserve to be fucking fired for what had happened outside the WWE wall. I don't know how he was in the locker room, but he clearly didn't deserve to be fired for his actions that took place on the outside, which they ultimately fired him for. We don't want another situation like that. So all the evidence needs to be on the table before we make a rational decision on MSK and what they do. But my thought is WWE may take MSK off of television for the time being until they get all of this situated. It's going to be a bad look if WWE keeps MSK on television while Nash Carter is going through all his bullshit on social media. It's going to look bad if he's still the tag team champion and they don't take care of this situation first. So they may actually put the titles on Grayson Waller and Sanga next week just so that they could get Grayson Waller with some championship gold, being that they've been kind of building him up as one of the future pieces of the company. That's all I'm going to say on that. I just have a feeling that a tag team title change is happening next week, and they're going to take MSK off of television for the time being until they get all the situation sorted and facts are brought to the table, evidence is brought to the table, and then they make a decision when they have everything situated. Nikita Lyons. She's an odds-on favorite in this chat, huh? She's an odds-on favorite in NXT. I wonder why. What is it about, man, it's tough for me to figure this one out, man. I can't figure what is so great about Nikita Lyons, man? Why is everybody so hard with Nikita Lyons? I don't understand it. Why are you guys so up on Nikita Lyons? I don't know, man. Is it her blushing personality? Is it that big roundhouse kick that she does? Maybe it's her singing ability. I don't know. What is it? Maybe I'm missing something, man. Somebody fill me in. Somebody fill me in. She went up against Lash Legend. Don't know why Lash Legend is on TV. Who deemed this woman ready for TV? Lash Legend. Shit gimmick. Not really ready for TV at all. Nikita Lyons is clearly light years ahead of Lash Legend. Lash Legend did not look bad. Her timing is fucking off, I tell you that. But I will say this, man. She does a better standing moonsault than Charlotte Flair. Go figure, man. Lash fucking Legend does a better standing moonsault than Charlotte Flair. Just let that sink in. So these two have some bullshit going on between each other on social media. Who's better than who and who's going to be the queen of the women's division. This looks a little stiff in some parts, a little rough in some parts. And I don't know if it's just miscommunication on both of these ladies or Lash Legend is just not deemed ready for in-ring competition just yet. But it definitely seemed like it was, especially on Lash Legend's part, a little too choreographed for my liking. It looked like she's not fluidly, going through the motions. It looks like she is trying to remember what she's got to do, stop, execute, and then do whatever she's got to do next. It really felt like a choreographed match. And I don't like watching what is a choreographed match when it jumps off the screen like that at you. Nikita Lyons is fine. She's fine. She's still very green. She's got a lot to learn. She's been on TV for 3 fucking weeks. Not really all in on Nikita Lyons just yet, but she'll get there. She's a lot better than Lash Legend. She's a lot better than most of the fucking women I've seen on this show. But these are two big ladies. These are two big ladies. So there was a slugfest that happened between these two. A superplex spot by Nikita Lyons here as well. And after the superplex spot, we got a cover by Lyons on Lash Legend for a 2 count. Lyons is getting ready to finish her off. She used the roundhouse kick that she usually goes for to finish, but she missed it. Legend goes down selling the kick anyway. That was one of the botches in the match. Lyons does her split into the leg drop. She goes for a cover on Legend for the 1, 2, 3, and that was pretty much it. There really wasn't much to the match at all. Couple of punches, some stiff elbows, a superplex. There really wasn't much to really write about. There was a German suplex in there as well by Lyons, which looked decent. And Nikita Lyons wins the match in 4 minutes. There's only so much I could say about a fucking 4-minute match. She does the split-legged pin for the 1, 2, 3, and the crowd goes crazy. And then she stands there posing in front of the camera. Very, very choreographed. Everything's just very, very, very choreographed. I don't like it. Nikita Lyons wins, and that was it. Kushida. There's a video with Kushida. He is now apparently targeting Von Wagner. Put the lotion in the baskets, Von Wagner. It rubs the lotion on the skin. Von Wagner. So he's speaking in Japanese. And he said Wagner made the worst mistake of his life. The fuck did Von Wagner do that he made the worst mistake of his life, man? You know, a mistake that Von Wagner could potentially make. The worst mistake that Von Wagner could make this week is to sit down on Friday night and turn on Fox at 8 p.m. That is one of the worst mistakes that Von Wagner could make watching SmackDown. I don't know if targeting jacket time is a mistake for Von Wagner. So, it wasn't that he just attacked Kushida. It was that he attacked his friend Ikeman Jiro and destroyed his jacket. Said Von Wagner's time is up. Yeah, my time is up too. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Bron Breakker made his entrance. He went one-on-one with Gunther. Gunther in the main event. Less than 12 minutes. Less than 12 minutes. And Bron Breakker defeats Gunther to retain the NXT Championship. This was not bad. It wasn't bad at all. This was definitely a lesson learned for Mr. Bron Breakker on what he can expect by getting in the ring with individuals such as Gunther. And I don't really know where they're going with Imperium. It looks like they may broken up Imperium earlier in the night. And then Walter loses here. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. So, Walter losing clean here. I talked about it before. I don't know if they're calling him up. I don't know what they got planned for him, being that they have already blown this match and blown Walter's shot at the NXT title. I can't see him going after the title anymore now that he lost, and WWE clearly is moving on to Joe Gacy, right? They're moving Joe Gacy on to Bron Breakker, apparently. So, there was a slow build to this match. They locked up at the start, and they had a back and forth, and this really broke down pretty quickly. The pace quickened a little bit here, and Gunther completely knocked Breakker's head off with a big boot. Gunther is throwing chops. Breakker is firing up. Breakker takes Gunther out with a Rick Steiner slam. He speared by Breakker was Gunther. Nice looking spear there. He pulled down the straps. He was getting ready. He was feeling it. Breakker attempts a military press. He fails. Breakker sells the arm like he hurt his arm lifting Gunther in the air. Breakker selling. Gunther targets the arm. Gunther then sends Breakker crashing into the ring steps. And Bron Breakker's in some serious trouble, man. Will we see a new NXT champion tonight? Breakker's still selling the arm. Gunther is continuing to target the arm. He sends Breakker into the ring steps, like I said. He starts to fight back. And Gunther chopped him down. Vicious-looking shot by Gunther. Breakker continues to fight back. He gets to his feet. Gunther chops him down again. Eventually, Breakker lands a clothesline, takes Gunther off his feet. Double down, and both men are out, which leads to the referee beginning its 10 count. Breakker tried to rally. Gunther cuts him off by targeting the injured arm. Breakker still fights back, launching Gunther over his head with an overhead suplex. Gunther counters a spear into a absolutely devastating shotgun dropkick. And that took, obviously, Breakker off his feet. Breakker covered, after that, we got another power bomb by Gunther for a near fall. Gunther followed up with a flying crossbody off the top rope. Gunther is going for the cover. Breakker kicks out. Stiff short arm clothesline there by Gunther. Breakker gets a shoulder up. So everything that Gunther is known for ending matches, he is delivering to Breakker, and Breakker's kicking out of everything. The crossbody, the power bomb, the chops, the big boot, everything. Everything. He's kicking out of it. So they start trading strikes here, and Breakker explodes into a spear. Breakker looks to get that babyface comeback. Gunther chopped him down again. Gunther locks in a sleeper hold. Breakker escaped the sleeper hold. He hits him with a lariat. Military press by Breakker. He drops Gunther into the power slam. Breakker covers 1, 2, 3, and that was it. That was it. Clean. Went about 10 minutes. It wasn't bad. It also was completely unnecessary. It didn't need to happen. And I talked about this at the beginning of the show. It could have been anybody. And I want to give WWE the benefit of the doubt. I do. Are they calling Gunther up to the main roster? Are they calling him up by himself? Are they calling him an Imperium up? I don't know. This did not need to happen. This needed to happen somewhere down the line if they wanted to really maximize the importance of the NXT title. And all they did was bury Gunther here on NXT, and it really just comes off bad. It comes off as he's just another guy on the roster, and he should not be treated like another guy at all. I do not agree with the booking decision to book this match and have him lose clean. Now, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt, so something like this only really looks like he's getting called up, but I can't even say that is for sure. But where would he go from here if he stays? He's a fucking loser. Who is he going to be feuding with? There's nothing else for Gunther to do on this roster, on this show. He's outgrown it all. Put him on Friday night and get him on Friday night. That's what needs to be done. I hope that's the case, but even then, I'm not really all too pleased with him making it to the main roster because I don't trust him with fucking anybody. I barely trust him with Cody Rhodes. Barely trust him with Cody Rhodes. That is all I got for you guys, man. NXT, just a complete dog shit show. The drizzling shits was NXT tonight. They changed his theme. They are breaking him up, potentially from Imperium. He lost to Breakker in about 10 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. I really do. Still feeling the effects of the weekend. I'm still exhausted. I'm still tired. Still drained. And we got AEW Dynamite tomorrow, man. Samoa Joe! He's now all elite. He'll be on Wednesday's Dynamite. He is now in the Owen Cup. He'll be wrestling Max Caster tomorrow night. I wonder what's going to happen there. But what I'm looking forward to is Max Caster's rap on Samoa Joe. That's going to be fucking epic. And then we got the Young Bucks versus FTR for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. And Adam Cole, baby, versus Christian Cage. Should be a damn good AEW Dynamite tomorrow night. I'll be live with Jesse on Off the Script. Follow me on social media, guys, at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Hit that thumbs up. Continue to hit that thumbs up, guys. I see 676 likes. Can we at least get 750? Can we at least get 750 on the live stream tonight? Super chats are open. Get them on in. We're going to read them in a second. And consider to hit that join button, man. Become an OTS VIP. A channel member right here on Off the Scripts. Joseph Taylor with a $2 super chat. I guess Pretty Deadly is going to get buried now. Why you think that, bro? I don't even know who the fuck they are. Why would they come and get buried? If WWE's calling them over here, they clearly got a plan for them. And I guess with them being here now, WWE may be breaking up Imperium. I forgot to mention that with Pretty Deadly coming over, man. Maybe they feel like they don't need Imperium as a tag team, whether they split them up and they go solo or they call them up to the main roster. Looks like Pretty Deadly may be taking Imperium's spot on NXT. Aaron King with a $3 super chat. My cat put her paw on my remote's power button. Your cat even knows NXT is the drizzling shits, Aaron. Reese with a $9.99 super chat. It's been too long since it's been said, but Mr. No Days Off. You know it, brother. Reese also with another $9.99 super chat. JD, what do you think about the idea that if WWE gets Rock for next year against Roman and they have Cody cash in Money in the Bank after the match? Nah, man, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing with Cody. I don't know what they're doing with Rock. I don't know what they're doing with Roman. For all we know, Roman may come out on Friday Night SmackDown and relinquish the WWE Championship. Put it back on Raw. Have them have a tournament or something for the fucking title. I don't know. WWE definitely is going to do something lame and uncreative with the WWE Championship, rendering the unification match pointless. It's exactly what they're going to do. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Tony Brown with a $4.99 super chat. The meat was here. There's a lot of meat on this show, bro. Nikita Lyons, Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan. Some may say the best booty meat is on NXT. Bradley Robinette with a $1.99 super chat. I just can't get into NXT 2.0 anymore. It sucks. It really does, bro. Half the time, I don't even want to come on here and do the live stream. I legitimately force myself to do so. That's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling at all. Munchie Time with a $1.99 super chat. Can't wait for CNC. We need a Don of the IWC shirt. I gotta get Sal Rex on that, bro. I need some ideas, man. What could be on the Don of the IWC shirt? Maybe this? One of these hand gestures? I don't know. Marcus Gunn with $2 super chat. Yo, JD, can't wait for LA Knight to be on SmackDown. I think LA Knight is going to SmackDown this Friday. I think we'll see LA Knight. Ankle Breaker. Or Ankle Break, AJ2. Or is it Ankle Breaker, J2? $20 super chat. Why have Bron versus Walter? It makes no sense. This is actually turning me off on Bron. Not his fault. It's Bruce's fault. Also, Pretty Deadly is an awesome tag team. Took me a couple of months to get into it, but they are fantastic. I'll probably end up thinking the same way, man. I gotta see what they do here in the States. Spear of the Wolf with a $5 super chat. Just want to thank you for your level-headed takes. Like with Cody going to WWE and the Jeff Hardy incident. I have a lot of respect for your opinion. Spear of the Wolf, I appreciate that, brother. Cheers to you, man. Thank you so much. And shout out to my boy Ticket Drew as well, man. Ticket Drew called me today and said that my take on Cody from last night's Raw was excellent. And a lot of people really don't realize that I'm actually level-headed. And I can appreciate that. So, Spirit, thank you so much, brother. Riddick's Classic Arcade with a $2 super chat. Appreciate the hard work this week, bro. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Ricardo with a 2-month membership. JD, your impressions are so iconic, man. You're undefeated. Keep going big in this business, and thanks for a very busy week. Much love, bro. I appreciate you, Ricardo. Thank you for the 2-month membership, man. Enjoy that. Nothing like being a VIP on OTS. And Riddick's Classic Arcade with another $10 super chat. First round is on me for your day off Thursday. You deserve it, brother. I may not even take Thursday off, man. Thursday, I may actually do a podcast. I'm not sure yet. Depends on if there's news or not. You know, following WrestleMania, it's been pretty dry. There's really nothing going on as far as news goes. I look today, first thing I do in the morning when I wake up, have my cup of coffee, sit in the office, take some notes, get things ready for the week. There really isn't anything. Not a single fucking thing, man. I'll even look now, just for the hell of it. WWE had plans to give Dolph Ziggler a long NXT title reign. Plans changed a few hours before Raw. Of course they did. Of course they did. Nash Carter accused of domestic violence by his wife. Seth Rollins, WWE is the premier professional wrestling company on the planet. They aren't professional wrestling, Rollins. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. They're a sports entertainment company, man. Ring of Honor sold 20,000 pay-per-view buys on Friday night. That's coming from a company that barely did 800 with their last show. I deem that a success. Leo Gallimara with a $2 super chat. Hey, JD, would you have Cody win Money in the Bank? Yes. The Professional Gamer with a $2 super chat. JD, do you think WWE will overexpose Cody? Yes, I do. Jesse, you know, the venue looks good, man. The venue looks good, bro. You did a great job. I'm not going to be too hard on you, man. I may need you for Grandmaster Nightfall in about 15 minutes, bro. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go easy on Jesse tonight, guys. I don't even think he's ready for a Grandmaster Nightfall. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you all tomorrow night with Jesse on Wednesdays. AEW Dynamite Post Show, man. Right here on OTS. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for hanging out on Tuesday, even though I know you think NXT sucks, just like I do. I know. But let me see those guitar emojis in the chat. Let me see those Mustang emojis in the chat. And when that music comes on, I need that music on max. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow night for AEW on OTS. I'll see you guys later.